Hi guys, it's Emily from Nobel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my Agatha for Alice and it's to tell you a little project I'm doing for the next year at least. Basically, we all know that Alice loved Agatha Christie books, and over the last few years that we were friends, she gradually, towards the end last year, she got me interested in Agatha Christie. I've read a few and I've really enjoyed them. So what I decided was, in honour of her, I'm going to do an Agatha Christie project. So I've been gradually buying more and more Agatha Christie, and what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to read an Agatha Christie a month for the next year plus. I'm saying it's a year project. As to next year, once I've done the project, I want to continue and read it every month, or whether I change it to every other month, I don't know. But the project is I'm going to be reading one a month of the books I own for the next 12 months, from September to September next year for definite, and then, like I said, I may continue it. And what I thought I would do was I would invite you all to join me. Now obviously I think for me, reading any Agatha is going to count, so if you want to read any Agatha Christie every month, you're joining in and we'll do it together. But what I will be doing is I've had the lovely Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures helping me pick which ones that I read every month. Now she's at the process at the moment of going through the books that I've showed her that I've got and working out which order I'm going to read them in. I'm going to announce the one that I'm reading this month in September now, and then I will be doing it sort of middle of September. I will be announcing them in quarterly bit blocks on my community post. So I will tell you what books I'll be reading October, November and December, and that in September. And then again, when I've finished that bit, I will then be letting you know the next quarter. And what I've decided is either every month or every other month. At the moment I'm still very loose. I will be doing a live show with co-hosts maybe, of other Agatha Christie lovers. So I'm going to be inviting, if you want to be a co-host on any of the lives, let me know and I'll work it around. Hopefully Berna's going to do at least one of them because she's my little assistant, and I will be asking for other people to do it because I don't like doing them on my own. And when I do a live, we will talk about the Agatha Christie I've been reading and then find out what you've been reading out of Agatha Christie books, and just do it as a general chit chat. It doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be stressful. Something that Alice wasn't like stressful at all. She was like the most chilled out person ever. So I really want to do it as quite a light-hearted thing. But yeah, I spoke to Alice's mum, and she did say that she thought it was a great idea, and so did Alice's husband. They both thought it was a great idea to do this, and a lot of other of my friends have said they thought this would be something that she would love, and it's something happy to remember one of my best friends. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the book that Berna chose for me for September, and then I'll show you the other Agatha Christie books I've got, so you'll know whether these are ones that you want to keep an eye on. And you can obviously keep an eye out. If you want me to list them, I will be listing them, but like I said, I will be doing it as a community post, letting you know every 3 months which ones I'm going to be reading. So I do have matching copies on most of them because you know what I'm like with my classics, I like matching editions. So the first book that I'll be reading in September is The Mysterious Affair at Styles, which is the first Poirot book. I think it's The Mysterious Affair at Styles. I think this is the first one. I will find out in a second actually. How do I find that out actually? Yes, it is The Mysterious Affair. I'm doubting myself. So this is the first Poirot, and I think Agatha Christie's first book. So this is the one that I'm going to be reading in September. It's about a country house, a murder, a Belgian detective, and after the Great War, life will never be the same again. Captain Arthur Hastings is invited to Styles to recuperate from injuries sustained at the front. It's the last place he expected to encounter murder. Fortunately, he knows a former detective, a Belgian refugee who happens to be staying nearby. For the first time, meet Agatha Christie's legendary creation, Hercule Poirot. Now I know, out of all of the detectives, Alice loved Poirot. That was her favourite, so that's the one we're starting September with. Shall I do it that way? And now I'm going to be showing you the others. Now, part of it you're going to be seeing that there's a couple of books in here. No, 3 Agatha Christie's that you'll see in here are ones I bought on holiday. So you're seeing sneaky peeks for that, and I don't actually know much about them. So the next one is Dumb and Dumber, which is Dumb Witness, which is one of the Agatha Christie's I got. This is another Poirot. This is about a dog hunts rabbits, Hercule Poirot hunts murderers. So this one, this one's got a lead character called Emily. Everyone blamed Emily's accident on a rubble ball left by the stairs by a frisky terrier. But the more she thought about her fall, the more she's convinced that she became one of her relatives. The more convinced she became that one of her relatives was trying to kill her. Ooh! So this is one of the ones I bought on holiday. So this will be one that will be read. Then we've got Crooked House, which is Leonard. I'm only giving you brief descriptions of them because otherwise this video would be ridiculously long. The Leonardis is a one big happy family living on a sprawling ramshackle mansion. That is until the head of the household, Aristide, is murdered with a fatal barbitide injection. Ooh. So this is one of the ones I got on holiday as well. Right, and I've got a sticker on it, so I'll take that off afterwards. Then we've got Sad Cypress, which I think was one that I bought when Alice was around, and she did recommend this one. I did, when I was looking to buy all these Agatha Christie's, I did look on Goodreads ratings to find out which had the highest Goodreads rating, which had ones that Alice, Katie or Berna have liked, and my friends have liked, because Katie's another inspiration, Katie from books and things. Does it matter? She might have done it. Yes. I don't care if she did. I don't want to be hanged, I'll tell you. Beautiful young Eleanor Carlyle stood serenely on the dock, accused of the murder of Mary Gerard, her rival in love. The evidence was damning. Only Eleanor had the motive, the opportunity and the means to administer the fatal poison. This is another Poirot. By the way, if you hadn't guessed, I'm collecting the HarperCollins editions for these. Hickory Dickory Dock, another one that I bought. This is I Detect Rucksacks, my friend. It's very interesting. Hercule Poirot doesn't need all his detective skills to realise that something is troubling his secretary, Miss Lemon. She has made 3 mistakes in a simple letter. It seems an outbreak of kleptomania at a student hostel where her sister works is distracting his usually effective assistant. Ooh. That one. The ABC Murders, which I can't remember when I got this one. This is another gorgeous one. Let us see, Mr. Poirot, how clever you can be. Murder is a simple crime, but at the hands of a maniac, a serial killer, it's about to become very complicated business. With the whole country in a state of panic, the hit killer is growing more and more confident with every successive execution. I think Alice said this one was really good. Then we've got The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which is another Poirot. It's another one that's on my list. This is quite I think this back of it says the ones in the order, and this is quite the earlier one, so I think this would probably be one of the first ones I'll be reading. Key is inside the lock. The key in the lock. All right, sir. On the inside, Mr. Ackroyd must have locked himself in. Poor Roger Ackroyd. He knew that the woman he loved had secretly been harbouring a guilty secret. She poisoned her first husband, and yesterday she killed herself. But the guilty secrets rarely stay secret. So this does look really good. I'm sorry Thomas is being really noisy, by the way, guys. The joys of the summer holidays. Then we've got The Peril at End House, which Alice did say was really scary. So this one I'm hoping Berna saves this one a little bit, because this one does scare me a bit. Will you be serious? It would not have been a joke, mademoiselle, if you'd been lying in a hotel garden, a pretty little corpse with a nice hole through her head. Nick Buckley is suffering from a run of bad luck. First on the treacherous Cornish hillside, the brakes on his car failed, then on a coastal path. Yeah, this was supposed to be really good. I know that she liked this one. None of these books are really long, which is another reason why I'm really looking forward to this project. Then I've got my Marple books, and then I'll show you some of the ones that I've bought. It's some of the ones that I've read. So they won't be being read for this, but you feel free to read them when you're doing it. The next one is a book that I found on a cheap charity shop. It doesn't match. Well, it is still HarperCollins, but it doesn't look like it matches. And this is A Pocket Full of Rye, and this is a Marple book. So this is the first of my Marple ones. Rex Fortescue, the king of financial empire, was sipping his tea in his country house when he suffered an agonising and sudden death. On later inspection, the pockets of the deceased were found to contain traces of cereals. Yet it was the incident in the parlour which confirmed Miss Jane Marple's suspicion that she was looking at a case of crime by rye. Ooh. Then we've got, this is one I found at my local charity shop, and this is another Miss Marple, my matching editions. They do it with mirrors. I don't think this one's got a very high rating though. A shocking crime, a mansion filled with suspects. Ruth Van Rydock can't shake the feeling that something terrible is going to happen to her sister's Stoneygates house. Her old school friend Miss Marple decides that it's time she pays a visit. But this grand Victorian mansion isn't just a family home, it's a correctional facility for wayward young men. Then we got the book that Alice did choose for me when we went on our last London meetup, Boar Fishy from Paddington. So I hope this one gets chosen quite soon. Two trains side by side for a brief moment. In that moment, a murder. Elspeth McKinney is positive she witnessed a man strangling a woman to death. It was only the merest glimpse through the carriage window as the train draws parallel. She is the only witness and there are no suspects, and more importantly, there is no corpse. Apart from her friend Jane Marple, would take her seriously. It's one that doesn't. This is the one that doesn't match my editions. Again, it's HarperCollins, but it doesn't match my pretty editions. And this is Ordeal by Innocence that my sister Charlie gave me. I think this is a standalone because I can't see anything about this on this one. But it's one that's been adapted for TV. No one felt more sorry for Jacko Argyle, who died when Jacko Argyle died in prison. Everyone knew that he'd bludgeoned his mother to death with a poker from the fire. But when the doctor turns up at her house 2 years later with proofs of Jacko's innocence, the whole family is horrified because it can only mean one thing, that their mother's killer is still amongst them. So, I don't know much about that. Now, these are the three that now I've got my standalone actually. My standalone is one that I bought on holiday, and this is actually Absent in Spring, and it's when Agatha Christie was writing as Mary Westacott. Now, I know that Alice didn't love the books when they were written by when she was writing as Mary Westacott, so I don't know much about this one. Returning from a visit to her daughter in Iraq, Joan Scudamore finds herself unexpectedly alone and stranded in an isolated rest house by the flooding of the railway tracks. This sudden solitude compels Joan to assess her life for a minute and look up to be facing the many truths about herself. Don't know too much about this one. I know that Berna's not read it, but I found it on holiday, so I've got it. I'll have to wait and see whether she chooses this or not. Now, the next are the four that I'm going to show you that I've read and that I loved. So the first one was Death on the Nile. Everyone knows this. It's a Poirot. I absolutely bloody loved it. I didn't predict the killer. It's a really, really good book. So if you're looking for good Poirots, I definitely recommend that. Then we've got a book that I read recently and that Kirsten from Reading It read as well. And this is A Murder is Announced. And it's my first Miss Marple book. And I thoroughly, thoroughly loved it. Didn't guess the killer. Then we've got And Then There Were None, which I think is another Poirot, I think. Let's see. So this one's either a Crooked House. It's got a Crooked House on the list, so I'm guessing it's a Poirot actually. And this is And Then There Were None. So this is a Poirot, I remember that actually. And this was really bloody good. I did not guess the killer on that. I think that was like a favourite. But my favourite Agatha Christie that I've read so far is Five Little Pigs. And this is another best Poirot, and this was absolutely my favourite. It was 101% my favourite. I think And Then There Were None was a standalone actually, I don't know. But this was my favourite. This is the one that I would thoroughly say that got me loving Agatha Christie. So if you've not read this and want to read it, feel free to read it and then join in on the chat with me and tell me you're reading it, because I absolutely love this one and I think this was one of Alice's favourites as well. So those are the books that I own and the ones that I've read. I will be, like I said, doing a quarterly announcement. If you guys want me to set up a Voxer group, let me know, because I would love to do that. Like I said, Berna is my assistant on helping me do this. But if anyone else would like to join in the live shows or another Agatha Christie lovers, I know Kirsten loves Miss Marple and is reading Miss Marple. I know Katie's read a lot. So Katie, if you're watching this, please let me know if you'd love to join in. I'd love to get any co-hosts. So maybe when I'm reading Marple, I might nag Kirsten and see if she'll co-host with me. But I don't know. I still don't know whether I'm going to do the lives every month or every other month. It really will depend on how life is going, because I'm not going to get this stressful. But yeah, if you got to the end of this video, leave a magnifying glass in the emojis. If you want to join in, let me know. If you tell me what your favourite Miss Marple is. Are you joining in with me? Are you going to read along with what ones I'm going to pick? Let me know down below. This is for Alice. This is something that's really special in honour of her, and I wanted to do something really happy to remember her and do something that she would have loved, because she was always nagging me to read them, and she really got me in love with Agatha Christie. Now my favourite mysteries. So yeah, let me know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, not subscribed yet, bring on my digging, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.